कर सकते हैं, मगर जीएसटी काउंसिल में निर्णय आज भी सिर्फ एक समय था, which was on lottery related to Kerala, on which the northeastern states were all very worried. Then we took that was also not voting, we took a call on how many states would you want, and so on. उसके अलावा अभी तक कोई भी discussion inclusive of the lockdown period, more amount to be borrowed for compensation, no decision has been taken by majority voting or any of that kind. It has been a collective decision making.
Rahul.
Srivastava from India Today. Ma'am, we saw a very strange contradiction today that on one hand we found a lot of states opposing any hikes in taxes on items and commodities. On the other hand, a lot of them were complaining that we want that the compensation should come to states should continue. Now, between this, how difficult a task is it for you as a head of the GST Council to even probe the concept of continuation of compensation to states?
Rahul, first thing, there was no opposition to any increase or anything to do with the rate. There was not one. In fact, as was the suggestion given by the fitment, more or less on everything, it was all right, it should go through. In fact, I'm grateful, and I don't want to name and create, unnecessarily interest and curiosity. There were ministers who even said, it should just go into agreement, all of us can agree, there is nothing, they are all very well done reports. And if there's no need for us to get into detailed discussion on point A, point B, point C. And the moment that was said by one minister, at least 3 other ministers came one after the other to say, we agree, we should just go on, because they're all nicely presented, reasons and logic explained, and the committee and the groups have done very good work. So that has been the prevailing mood since yesterday morning. So there's never been one voice saying, why are you doing this? Not on any issue. So that be clear. Huh? On compensation, I've answered the question. People have answered.
Prashant.
Prashant from Financial Express. Sir, Madam, the revenue collections have been buoyant in the last 4-5 months. It has been around 1.4 lakh crore. It touched 1.68 lakh crore in April. So was there any discussion or assessment presented in the meeting how it is going to fare in the remainder of the year and going forward?
No presentation done, but Revenue Secretary at one point in time between one agenda to the other, moving from one GOM report to another GOM, took the opportunity to explain that revenue generation is going on all right because of the various steps which every state has taken. The efficiencies in collection have improved. The kind of plugging of leakages have been done from the states. Every state has actively done. And as a result, he didn't have any slide to show, but he read out the numbers of how much it has improved, how much it is likely to be per month on an average, and so on. There was no discussion on it.
Last question by Vikas.
Hi ma'am, Vikas from the Hindu. Just want to get a sense on the risk-based registration process that we're looking at. When are we looking to implement it? And if you can give us a sort of explanation on how this will work, on what base, what different levels of risk we are looking at. And lastly, how this could affect, say, a startup which has really no major history or background.
Valuation.
Basically, suppose there is a unit which is asking for a registration in a state which it doesn't exist and has a good record elsewhere, which is available in GST, and so the risk base will mention that this is fine. Then, based on certain other parameters, now the algorithm will have some clauses based on which it will run the algorithm. Suppose there are some addresses, some places which are basically we find in the system that these are actually locations where these kind of fake addresses are being given, or on one address there are 10 which are coming. So all that algorithm will be written. It will not be in the hands of any individual. So it will be run through that. And then On a risk-based, that also we are not saying, it's only a little more strenuous in the sense it's like the red channel. You'll come through the red channel and we will actually check whether he exists, and then we will also collect. For example, one of the things that they are saying is that we'll collect the electricity mapping of that person. So it will give us an idea whether that premise does exist also or not. Then the risk parameter will also say, if I give an address, say Chandigarh or Mohali, Sector 4 Mohali or Sector 4 or Sector 10 Chandigarh. So it's not an exact address that is there. So I can't go and pinpoint where does it exist. So these are the kind of risk parameters that will come, and that will involve a greater scrutiny of such people at the time of registration. Let me say this, that we have taken a large number of steps, and I think the message is going very loud that this is, we mean business. So some pilots are being undertaken by Gujarat and MP on this aspect, and we will further improve the system.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, we have worked on the timelines in the sense we have asked them to work on, and GSTN to develop the utilities. It will take, for various utilities, it will take between 3 to 6 months, but we'll be doing that.
Thank you
The
very much.
press release will give you the details of the rates and so on. And just to add, that first week of August, GST Council, on the invitation of Tamil Nadu Finance Minister, will be held in Madurai.
We will be sharing just within 20-30 seconds in WhatsApp group the press release. Please join us for a cup of tea there, backside.